Hey guys, it's Alex. I'm currently in the quarantine right now before I go off to college, to UVM. But I thought that since I have a little bit of free time sitting around the house that I would share with you one of my favorite recipes to make. It's super easy and it's really good. They're called date skillet cookies. I also have my sous chef, Utsi, here to help. So first things first, I'm gonna take the dates, and before I chop them, mine have been sitting in a bag and they're like a little hard, so I'm gonna put in maybe about a cup of warm water, just so that they get a little bit moist. So now that the dates are sitting in the water, we're gonna let them sit for maybe about 10 minutes while they soak up that water and get nice and soft. And then I'm gonna put them in the food processor. So while I'm waiting for the dates, I'm going to process the pecans, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the coconut, just to give them a bit of a finer texture than you would if you were to chop it with a knife. So I'm just gonna put the pecans back in the bowl that I have for them. 1 cup of coconut, and we're gonna put it in the food processor. Okay. So it's perfect now. It kind of almost looks like snow. So we're gonna move the coconut back into the cup that I had set up for it. Okay, so now I'm going to, since the dates are ready, it's been about 10 minutes. The dates are just the right texture. You can squeeze them, it's perfect. So I'm going to drain the water and then add the dates to the food processor. You can actually smell how sweet it is just as you're processing them. It's amazing. Okay, so this is actually perfect. So you have southern legs, but it looks kind of like this, almost like a paste. So now on low heat, we're gonna take our skillet and we're going to combine the dates, butter, granulated sugar, and the egg. And we're gonna stir it constantly and let it cook to almost a paste for 5 to 7 minutes. Now we're gonna constantly stir. So at first it's gonna look a little wonky because the sugar is, it's not melted yet, and you have the egg, but as you start to mix it, it all starts to come together. What's up, Utsi? How's my sous chef doing? So we're still on the stove top. It's been about 4 minutes, so it's almost done. You can see that it's really starting to melt. So it has been about 5 minutes and it looks good. So I'm gonna take the pan off of the heat, and now off the heat, we are going to add the vanilla, the Rice Krispie cereal, and the chopped pecans, and yeah. So we need half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Yes, let's see. And I always like to add a little bit more because I like vanilla extract. And then we're going to add our chopped pecans, just like so, and our Rice Krispie, 2 cups of Rice Krispie treats, Rice Krispie syrup. And then we're gonna mix. So we're gonna stir it all together. And it smells so good. It's like, you know you're making something good because it smells so good. Okay. So it looks like this when it's mixed. It almost, if you've ever eaten a Rice Krispie treat before, it's kind of like, it looks like the beginnings of a Rice Krispie treat, but it obviously isn't, but it has like the same texture to it. Okay, so now we've done the mixing on the cooktop with the skillet, and we have the Rice Krispies, the dates, the sugar, all the ingredients mixed together. So we're just waiting for that to cool. And now you want to line a pan with some parchment paper, because we're going to, once the mixture is cool, we're going to make the cookies. I'm also putting down a towel just in case if the pan is a little bit hot, I don't want to sit on the counter. Okay, our mixture is chilled, and the best way to see if it's chilled is to taste a little bit. So now we're going to take a little bit of the mixture and roll it up like this. And then we have our coconut here, our chopped coconut, and we're going to roll it in the coconut. And I like to do a little bit bigger than bite size, so it ends up looking like this. So good. And so then I'm going to do that for the rest of the mixture. Just keep rolling in the coconut until I fill up the pan. So here is the final product. Let's try one. It's so crunchy, and you have the sweetness from the date, and the coconut is just the perfect outer layer. It's so good.